All right, guys, here's another video. I'm making a few videos trying to show people some tips I'm finding with Crown Victorias. By the way, if you get seat covers, like this is the pleather one, you know, this one had headrest covers. I just zipped that up, kept it closed, took off the headrest, and used the headrest covers as a center channel cover. Now check it. What I have it covering is all the connections, and here's what I'm going to show you. I want to first show you. So look at this. I'm going to have this strapped. It's going to be permanently affixed there. Not permanently, but just taped it up. So that this is the full kill switch, the battery kill switch. It's this contactor. Okay, and I'll tell you about contactors in a second. And then I have the second contactor, which you see there. This is the alternator. That's the alternator power directly to here. And what this does is I can start the car, have no alternator, just run the battery, which the battery here, boom, guys, check it. Now that's gonna be your center console, 12 volt lipo, and then I have another 200 amp hour connected in parallel, guys. Don't be afraid. Parallel connection, positive, negative to negative. Do not do it in series, because I did an accident. Literally fried the fat old cord, burned it, and destroyed a cell, the last cell in the series. Anyways, so don't accidentally do it, but don't be afraid. Parallel connection, because I'll show you what it does. It does not damage anything, and here's what's the cool part about it. How I have my system is, so it's 12 volt. I tried 16 volt. I'll end the video with that. The car, I'll just say right now, if you make it a 16 volt system and it's a fully charged battery, one thing then you can't do it like as simple as this setup, which I love. Another thing, on the dash, it'll have the battery icon, but it'll be because it'll be the ECU is saying a battery voltage high condition, so you'll have to deal with that. And I don't want to have to look into how it's sensing it and crap. So then, like, put a diode on it to like pull down the voltage. But I mean, it is possible to do 16 volt. Just it won't be as simple and nice as this. Now I have the master. Here, I have this pulled up again. That'll be there. I gotta tape it, permanently fix it. The master, boom, turn this on, and then I have let me turn that off. I have 3 switches for what I'm using it for. Water pump, electric water pump, boom. So turn on the ignition. I let it go up to operating temp. I'll kind of turn this on and off, have it like, cycling a little bit, but let it get to operating temp way quicker, because the pump's not, forcing it through. Well, I guess, I don't know. I'm just saying, but turn this on. This is the second battery. This is here, I'll do this. So first battery is on. Second battery, see that right there? That's the positive from the second battery. So it is connected without anything stopping it. But it has its own contactor. And I'm going to tell you guys about contactors. There's relays, solenoids, and those things, when you turn them on, they take a couple amps to operate, especially high amp solenoids relays. It wastes energy. What you need to get, I got these off Battery Hookup, because they cut these out of luxury electric vehicles and their batteries. This right here, this economizer contactor, once you turn it on, it'll take some power to turn on, but then it drops that need for power, and it'll be like milliamps to keep it open. And so it's a really low draw, really high, because it's got like copper posts, and it can take everything this car can handle. So for your alternator, and then your main power. Now this looks like a lot of wires, because I just ran out of 3/0 gauge. I just used 4 gauge into one. I didn't have enough 3/0 gauge to make it, so I just did that. Now I'll get some 3/0 in the future and make it one wire, but it'll look a lot cleaner. Here's all the interconnects for the switches and stuff. I can clean that up. And then here, your battery monitor. I got one here, and then one on the back one. Okay, so and then again, this is the LifePo LEV60F batteries. Make your own copper bus bars, or buy some, but these will handle like easily continuous 125 amps. If I had 2 of them stacked, it would be 250 amps, but I'm not, of course, I don't need to do that continuous. You do take 2 sense leads off, have it like one going off each, so then you can have it have it power for your switches. Then that can, you know, turn on the contactors that, you know, you can tap off that and power off this. Anyways, so this is sexy, guys. And then here's, I'm going to make this more clean up here, but I'll show you what happens as I operate this car. And I'll show you what kind of, with just this battery alone, I can drive this car during the day without headlights and without AC for like 4 hours. Just this alone. No alternator, so I don't have to have the drag from alternator. Guys, as much as you want to say, oh, it's just a couple horsepower, bullshit. Bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. People like to keyboard warrior their way, but having an alternator with that drag, even though there's the magnet still being required to be spun, it is torque. It not only takes torque from your car, it takes your car will raise the RPM to adjust for the voltage that now it needs to put out in the amperage. Okay, because so forget you little. I get pissed. I'm like, people just want to complain and want to tell other people, oh, it's just a couple horsepower, when they've never done it themselves. Okay, and then here's another thing. You can directly connect your alternator to your battery, a lithium phosphate battery. It's going to do a couple hundred, or depending on what output it has. This is the police alternator, so you can do 200 amps easy. And this, I'll show you. But you can connect it directly. It'll jump up a couple hundred amps. But guess what? These batteries, well, if it was drained, I'm going to tell you right now, if it was drained, then I might be a little more, I'd be watching and doing more testing. But I'm telling you right now, well, with the setup I have, I don't have to do this. 4 hours operation during the day, and then that's a 200 amp hour. I can get another 12 hours from there. So 16 hours running. I'm not going to drive 16 hours in the day anyways. And then if I'm using this, you know, take it down by 4 times. So 16. So I can still get, you know, headlights, AC, whatever. I could probably get like 6 hours still total. What the heck, guys? Come on, like 6 hours, you know. And then I just need to charge it. I'll show you guys the charger to use. But if and when it's this battery is dead, here's what. Or first, when I want to charge this battery before using the alternator, I turn on the second battery, open the connections so that they're paralleled, right? So this will be a fully charged battery. This one will be dead. The voltage difference will cause allow the, you know, high amount of amperage. These things can take up to 180 amps discharge, 200 discharge, charge, both of them. And so without a controller in between, like a DC to DC stupid junk, and then stupid, you know, DC to DC from your alternator, like, you know, trying to control that, you know, removing all that extra junk and crap and, you know, expensive Victron bullshit, you can just parallel your batteries. People are afraid to do 2 different batteries of 2 different amp hours. Fucking stupid. Like it doesn't matter. It's definitely better too to have a giant one and a little one, so that you can have a ton of capacity. Then it'll charge this. It'll keep its higher voltage, and then this one will pull up, and then it'll charge. And then you can run them in parallel too. So I can have it open, run in parallel, and then the whole time I don't even need to run the alternator. But this is the consideration when you have an alternator like set up like this, because I'm not using a kill switch through the sense line, the gen moderator line, which, by the way, you can turn off the. So apparently, I haven't tested it yet, but you could, by shorting gen to gen mon, which is 2 to 3, or gen to one of those to ground, it'll stop charging. Okay, it won't charge. And that's like the safe way to do it. I haven't done it that way yet, but this is just more simple for me. So when I'm dead and I'm still running or getting close to dead, I can turn on the alternator, then it'll pump power in, and then it'll start off, get up to about 200 amps. And then it'll bleed down quick though, because that voltage in these, from dead to, you know, up to near, like even just 20%, that voltage it shoots up quick, and then the amps go down, and then so you don't need no DC crap. Okay, bullshit. Just know how to operate it. Don't be a dummy. Learn your you know, if you take this video and you know, listen, if you just set it up like this and you watch out, you know, you have your monitors. So I'm gonna show you guys right now. Battery's on, main. So now I'm gonna turn on. Where's my keys? All right, I'm gonna show you guys. So, of course, it's gonna run through. I have an ABS connector I gotta replace, and so that's the only light that actually has a problem right now. Everything else will go away. All right. Boom. Now that's what it takes to idle. 10 amps with no lights, or less than 10 amps. Okay, even less. So when you get, look how cool that is. So it's pretty cool to also see what your car will take. I've seen calculations for V8s being like huge. And so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it in drive, and then I'm gonna use some of this car's battery, and then show you what kind of amps comes out of it. Of course, this freaking meter is like 3 volts under. But see, okay, so this is a full battery, and it's getting down to 13.7 because there's its fully topped off charge, which is like 14 volts. That's a resting voltage, you know, after you charge it to 14.4. But then it'll go down quickly to 3.7, 3.6, then down to 3.5, 13.5. I can't even show you right now. Well, let me just use the car a little bit, and then I'll turn on the alternator and show you what happens. By the way, for performance steering wheel, no headrests, and using the headrest covers as the center console. Bam! So I'm just gonna back it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna back this up. See, okay, when that light will go on, is on because the alternator is not directly connected to the car. It'll go away when I turn on the alternator. I gotta turn my car around. I want to bleed some energy because this battery's full. Oh, I just knocked it in neutral. By the way, guys, if you cut out those tailpipes and put on straight through mufflers right behind them, this car sounds bitchin'. It's the best way to do it. No box mufflers, or I'll show you guys that too. Well, I did a video. I'll put this on my channel. Oops. So parking, I want to show you guys the okay. So you can see, let me turn off that, the power requirement. So now it's down to 13.5. This is more in its where it's going to be flat in its state of charge, in voltage wise. And then I'm going to show you this. So this is the alternator. That's this contactor, or this one. This is just turning it on. And there's about not even an amp hour of life out of this yet. But see how the capacity. So if this thing was to idle, I can idle this thing for freaking 8.5 hours just off of this bad boy. Okay. So that's enough to charge this stuff and be good, okay? Okay, so, okay, let me show you. Let me turn this alternator on. Boom. See that? So it goes up at the 108, 109. But look at that. It bleeds back down quick because the voltage is going to go up quick. Now we're just resting. Now with this Mitsubishi 200 amp alternator, the thing in idle can do like, up to like 3,000 or so, I don't know what the freaking curve is, but look at that. That's very comfortable. It brings it right back down. Super sick. Okay. Charge it up to 14.1. I'm gonna put this thing in reverse because I'm actually gassing myself. My exhaust is like halfway, in the car, but see that bleeds it back down. Nothing crazy. So no DC chargers you need. freaking save your money there. Make sure you go to battery hookup and get the best contactors you can get. And then here's the setup I got. It's a 1/4 inch thick copper bus bar with already pre-drilled holes. It's like a $30, $40 item. I cut it down and actually happened to just cut it perfectly to fit, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to match that, I'm just saying that's a pretty damn good way to do it. And then declutter it with I'll have the 3/0, but just 2 3/0 coming off, and then one ground. You want another 3/0 coming up for the ground. So total 3/0, 3 3/0, 3/0 gauge. And I do not recommend this battery monitor, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about the shunt versus the Hall effect, which that is Hall effect's a little more, you know, accurate, better for higher amp uses, and the shunt, like if you get a 100 amp shunt, which you might have to get a 200 amp. See, look at that. That's what the alternator is putting back into it. So the alternator is also powering the car now too. But here's the thing, guys, with the alternator, you want to do this. Once you turn it on, once the alternator has been off and turned on during driving, even in idle, I don't want to try this. Apparently, you can you can still turn this back off via this. Keep the engine on. Go back to, you know, just battery. If you had a load on, so like just lights. If I had the lights on, if I wanted like to bleed that extra voltage into the light circuit, but it's not good. I don't want to try it. I'm comfortable with this. Electricity is you know, components. I don't want to fry anything right now. Just I don't want to test that. But it is, if you want to be absolutely safe and don't have to worry about shit, you just have it plugged in, you know, directly to your battery through a contactor, and then to safely turn off the alternator after you turned it on, just turn off the car. Boom, that's it. And then you can turn it off. So it's now back to 0. Boom. 14.2 voltage, right? So the resting voltage will be around 14. Okay, so then cool, got it fully charged. 200 amp hour, 274, so 280 amp hour, guys. I can drive forever. Idle even way crazier. Get the battery charged through the alternator without any DC controllers, boost shit, you know. So I'm getting kind of crazy about it because guys, I'm finally a person who's had it tested and just done it myself. And instead of reading a bunch of foreign bullshit, people fucking saying, oh, okay, only a couple horsepower or whatever, blah blah blah. They don't know anything. So because they haven't tried it, and they also don't realize how much of an effect it has on the car. They're not talking about what the car ECU will do now once you're charging to, you know, raising up the RPM and then thus not making your cars free revving and you know, flowing and whatever. So it's just, it takes away torque and it raises your RPM. It definitely takes away your mileage, your fuel mileage, and so you can charge the car at home. I'm gonna show you guys this last part. This is what I want to show you guys. Oh, actually, let me unlock the car. Now I can turn off the battery. Turn off your battery switch. I'm gonna have it posted up right there. You want a separate one to then be able to power everything else. Here's what I recommend too. All right. Oops, I get the key over my neck. Alright guys, here's my setup. So there's the second contactor where it's connected in parallel. So everything's got a contactor. There's a total of 3 contactors in my system and 2 battery monitors. That's the battery, the Chinese Chinese aviation lithium batteries, okay? And these are tits. These are the best batteries. Definitely have the capacity. They're underrated, so they're 180 amp hours, but they have actually 200 amp hours. And here's just a fuse box for the charger. I have the charger here. For when I want, I just connect it. I'll show you guys that. But this is a RV, guys. The way to charge lithium batteries. I did not know this, but see this 55 amp power converter. Not only does this charge at 55 amps for 12 volt lithium, so it takes up to 14.6, which I'm not too a big fan of. 14.4 is better, but that's for ones with a BMS, the shitty BMSs that fail. Make you control your battery, limit your battery, whatever. Build your own batteries, people. This is like $140. Can you believe that? 55 amps powered, $140, and you don't even need the battery connected. You can still plug this into AC and have it output 14.6 for charging, but also for just normal operation of other DC things, like if you want to use your car's audio or your car amplifiers for your home stereo, which they're actually better amplifiers, guys. DC battery powered amplifiers, like from cars, are the fucking tits. They are the best amplifiers because battery power is so much better than AC. It's so much more on-demand power. It's so much cleaner. There's no AC crap that's in the line. And then check this too. This line, I'm gonna give you guys the model. It's a model WF9855. So you can use this to power home amps, and then it's an isolated power supply, meaning it has a transformer inside. It has a transformer inside, meaning the input and output are physically separated. It is magnetically created 12 volt DC through the coils, okay? That means there's no AC noise. So you can even, when you power your amps with this, and you don't have that AC shitty noise coming from your, home amplifiers, they have like, to have like tons of noise filters and crap and expensive types of ways to remove the AC, that AC crappy noise. So $150, best way, just for charging is best. Also for just operating home, DC equipment, to have nice home audio, so it's the best, dude. I mean, I'm not saying I think I really did find a way to operate lithium cars batteries. So this 200 amp hour battery was about $450 just for the cells, because they're like I can't remember how much each, like $75 each. So 75, 150, $300. $300, and then you build your own, bus bars. It's another $50 for both, and then $150, $350, $500, the wire, another $100 altogether for your car and everything, and then so $500, $600. This is for my system, okay? So that's how I have my shit set up. And the front battery, those are like, I don't know how much. Go to battery hookup, guys. Get so that, for my system, it's going to be about like $700, and you can match it, beat it, and have a tit system. For how much you spend on these cars, but I wanted I wanted an engine experience that. Let me show you guys the inside. I wanted experience where the least amount of electrical load on the engine. So of course running. Technically, it's no alternator, and then I got the Messier electric pump. I just put that in today, so I'm testing that out still. It only requires 12 amps. But here's another thing. So this is if you guys are still listening, still give a shit, still want to learn a few cool things. Of course, you get your 3-aught, run it directly to your battery. Okay, 3-aught is the way to go. Actually, that's a Humvee alternator cable, military Humvee alternator cable. So there you go. First, some serious stuff. The thing is with this car, I also this is another thing I also recommend. I don't know quite the full benefit yet. I'm just learning. I want to reduce. I got rid of all the chassis grounds. There's not a single chassis ground now in the engine bay for sure. The ECU. So it's called star grounding, okay? And with this engine, because its sensors do not, let me just say this. Star grounding is different for different situations, but for this situation, for a Crown Vic, for a 4.6, because the sensors do not require the engine to ground, you can pick a external point to then star ground from. If the sensors required the engine to ground, so see stuff like this, 2 wires, that means it's power and ground separate. Its ground is not the engine block. The only thing that requires the engine block to ground is the coils, the spark plugs, and the alternator. When the alternator is off, don't need it. Or I have that. The reason is you want the ECU sensor readings to be it's on the same plane as its sensors. So if the ECU was or reading sensors that were using the engine to ground, you would also want to ground everything off the engine, so that everything has the same ground reference voltage, that 0 volts, but at the same voltage. If you didn't, and you had let's say you had sensors using the engine to ground, but you did this, then you'll have the voltage drop across that wire will cause a positive voltage reading over here, and it'll actually cause, if the ECU is reading over here, there'll actually be more voltage here than here, and the coils can still operate, and you'll still have power running through. Anyways, it's just it's a problem, but not with this engine, because originally the ECU grounds the chassis there. You have a chassis ground from the cylinder head back there. You have a chassis ground for the headlights right here and here, and then maybe some more sensors. And I pulled that all over here. Took that same 1/4 inch copper bus bar with pre-made holes. I did this. It's secured. There's a bolt that goes right through, and then it secures there. So that's what keeps this here. And what's really cool, I just put some more bolts underneath through, so that they'll stay there. All you do is just loosen these. You don't even have to hold these, because that's how it is with the lock nuts, the lock washers. You just unscrew those, and the bolt will stay, and then you just rethread the nut and washer and lock washer, and you can use various sizes. Boom. So here's this. Another thing I want to recommend is 3/0 from engine block to here. Okay, that's just a big deal. Okay, and then I don't have it yet. I only had 4 gauge, but I'm gonna upgrade so every single thing grounds here, and then one single ground back to the battery. Here's the positive. I have 3/0 going here to the fuse box. This is just accessory right here. This is for, your headlight harness relay upgrades. You can have junction box here, power your headlights, high beams, low beams. 2 additional relays. This is for the water pump. You can have your relays here, junction box there, and then I have that, and then the starter wire is underneath there. And so just get another copper, have your 3/0 go to it directly, and then on top of that, use that 1/4 inch copper on top of it, and then add additional tapping points for your power. Then if you're cool, you want to add like dielectric grease to cover it up, so that oxidation stops occurring. This is after you sand and clean up those contacts, and then same here, I can do it here, but I'm still messing with the ground stuff anyways. So and then you can move your fuse box there. You can leave this whole area, take away your battery, and then leave it open for I was going to put a remote mount solenoid, not feed through that solenoid, because it's like exposed to dirt and dust and crap, and can corrode and stuff. So have it right here, and then have this power go back directly over there. So I'm going to do that for that point, but it takes all that weight off. You can put your fuse box in right there. Here's another thing, guys. Clear up this area. See how clean now? Open. This is, I just took the ECU and folded it back, just like so. It's like this. I went like this, tucked it in. I zip tied the leads together, and then these are the ECU ground wires. They're originally grounded here, and then this is the headlight ground wire. Now, when I want to make this even better, I would have this separate. Run this up, or actually probably run it up this way so it's shorter. But everything you want separate, grounded to one point, so that when systems, let's say now, because of this, let's say it's because it's sharing the same ground, when this is on, it'll have a voltage drop, and then the reading will be different. Okay, you want a perfect reading, you want the least amount of voltage drops, so you want everything to one point, and then that one point to the battery, because ground loops, noise, everything can get taken care of, at least the wiring wise, installation wise. But then you can also when you're done, add shielding to the high power. I mean, look into EMF and magnetic and electrical noise that can happen, interference that is caused, and you'll see how to do that. You want to limit the length of wires. You don't want long, so I got to figure this out too. You want the shortest amount possible, but because that doesn't have a power, has a separate. I mean, you guys, I'll explain that. That's for. Just focus on this. If you want the best, star ground. Star ground's coolest right there. Clean up the space. Remove battery. And then that's how you wire the alternator. The next thing I want to do too is I actually tried this. You don't have to keep on listening. This is just some extra stuff. I broke the bolt because I was trying to ground from here. I tried to grab another 3/0 gauge and have it directly also go back, so the alternator will have its own ground circuit and its own power, so it's totally not in the system. It won't introduce its own noise. It'll be way cleaner in terms of noise, and I just want to see how clean the signals then from all these sensors and stuff. Probably cleaner, but here's a consideration, guys. Last thing, 16 volt. Apparently, the biggest thing. There's two things that will really help by having 60 volt. The only big one to be really focused on is that your injectors apparently love 16 volt. 14 volt is vastly inferior efficiency for your injectors. So I'm going to figure that out. You can maybe just get then a separate boost circuit, which I have. You can get something like, well, I'll show that another time. You just get a boost, like a 100 amp boost circuit, like $50-$60, AliExpress or Walmart. I think they have it on Amazon, but they're a lot more expensive. Anyways, for those, if you want to do that and test that out. But the second thing is just it's the starting the car actually is it's kind of more fulfilling. It's like a way more quicker, catchier, or quicker, more powerful turnover. 16 volt. Everything else is just going to kind of cause problems here. The Mizier pump, the manufacturer says stick with 12 volts. Don't run 16 volts for too long. Your electric fans won't like 16 volts too much. They'll be running hotter, pulling more power. Your headlights maybe might have a problem, but it's just kind of a bigger deal. So 12 volts is like the simplest system. I tried it. 16 volt. There's just some more things that you have to do. So this is the system. Oh yeah, here's another thing. Just a quick thing. Catch cans, guys. Catch cans. This is for an F-150 Raptor or something, kit or something. But you want this? I mean, I'm not kidding, dude. Every 100 miles I get like 30 milliliters of oil, and it's. I'm still trying to figure out exactly why that's happening. If it's a bad thing or if that's normal. But anyways. All right, that's it. Just want to show you guys the electrical system for a Crown Vic. In my opinion, the most optimal. I still got to fix up. Last thing, I'm going to have the ECU go to, well, directly to it. But then there's a chassis point I just took off. I didn't actually add another back. I don't want anything from the engine creating any extra loops. I want everything going, boom, here. So I would have to just take. Watch. It's this. This is the grounding point. You can tell it's a little. Let's see. Yeah, back there. There's a point to attach, and it's supposed to then bolt right there. But I'm gonna take this and have this directly go to here. So it'll be cylinder head here, ECU here, and then headlight harness. Those headlights here. So I gotta get on. I just need 2 more points and then I'll finish this in. But the power's done, and then I'll grease this up. And then I just missed, stuffed. You could stuff, wires. The only problem I have right now is my ABS connector freaking I broke. But it looks pretty clean. And then of course when you have this, plastic covering it, all blacked out, it'll look super clean. Much cleaner. Okay, so all right guys, peace out.